My name is Alan from Malaysia.
Malaysia? Wow.
I would like to know of all the creators that you have created and co-created, who would you like to redo and why?
I got that. I guess Iron Man, Tony Stark. After all, he's handsome, he's wealthy, the women love him, and when he puts on his armor, he's about the strongest guy in the world. I can't think of any reason not to want to be Tony Stark. In fact, I should have called him Stan Lee. That would have been more exciting.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Patrick from Chicago. I was wondering, what is the one thing you're the most proud of in your career that you have done?
Being here tonight, I guess. I mean, you people are great. I've never been to a better convention. You're all so friendly. You probably think I'm somebody else. But no, I've had a great time, and this is a high point, you might say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Stan. My name is Andrew. I'm from Chicago. My question for you is a bit of a broad stroke. As the godfather of comics, what would you say you would hope the lasting impression of all the stories that comics tell? What do you think society should take away? What meaning should we find in these stories?
I just missed the last part. What should you find as exciting? What meaning?
Yeah, as a society.
What meaning as a society should you find in the comic book stories? Well, there are means for the publishers to make a lot of money if you buy them. I don't know. You know, comic books and the comic book movies, they're for entertainment. We're in the business of entertainment. We are entertainers, or we try to be. We don't always succeed. And if we can feel, all of us who are in the business, whether it's movies or comic books or television or just making speeches up here, if we can make an audience happy, thrill them, excite them, make them laugh, make them care about the stories, then we've succeeded. So far, the people at Marvel have been pretty successful. You can tell by the movies and the result of the movies. They haven't called any movie, they haven't had my name in the title yet, so I'm not completely successful, but I'm still waiting.
Thank you.
I think I have a way of answering a question without actually answering it. The reason is I'm not trying to avoid the question. I talk so much that by the time I'm sort of at the end of what I'm talking about, I forget what the question was.
That's okay. We just love everything you have to say. Yes.
I'm Tim. I'm from Western Springs, one of Chicago's many suburbs, and I was wondering, of all of the comics and TV shows that are out right now, are there any that are making you think, wow, that's really cool, I wish I could have a hand in that, something that impresses you and you think would be really fun to work on?
All of them, really. I don't know why they haven't asked me to direct at least half of them. No, to me, they're all wonderful. Even the ones, to show you how fair-minded I am, even the ones that I didn't create, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I am so jealous of them. It's such a big hit. But I love them all. And what was the question again?
Like, let's say Daredevil or S.H.I.E.L.D. or even the Avengers, if you could influence and be more directly involved with any
Oh,
of
I'd
them.
love to be directly involved. No, the problem is time. Seriously, I've been asked to do bigger roles. But if I did, it would mean I'd have to be on the set for a long time. And I can't do that because I have another little company that I work with. And we are too busy. I can't stay out of town too long. I don't know if you know my other little company. It's called POW Entertainment, P-O-W. And that, oh, good. And of course, POW stands for Purveyors of Wonder. And we're doing a new superhero now that you'll probably be seeing in sometime next year. And it's called the Annihilator.
Ooh.
So just watch for the Annihilator. And the next time we're at the convention, we can talk all about it.
That sounds like a good plan. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Sandra from Indiana. I was wondering if there's any part of being famous do you not like?
Any part? Well, I don't know how famous I am, but I know when I go home at night, my wife says, take out the garbage. But no, if I am famous, I like every bit of it. I love somebody coming over to me and say, by the way, I think you're Stan Lee, and I love your stories, and I want to thank you. And that's a wonderful feeling when people do say and do things like that. So anybody who doesn't enjoy that sort of thing is nuts.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from Willowbrook, another Chicagoan suburb, and I'm a big fan of Marvel Universe and Spider-Man specifically, and thank you for creating them. And my question is, you're seeing all these new renditions of all your characters and such. How do you feel the way that they're doing it? Do you feel like, wow, this is so amazing, I created that? Or you feel, no, don't do that, I don't like that?
You have to forgive me, even though I seem like a model of physical perfection. I don't hear as well as I did, and thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
But I love the movies that they have made. I love the fact that they take the ideas that I originally came up with, and they make them seem so big and so important, and they're on the screen, and people love them. And I get a lot of credit for them, and I really have nothing to do with the movie. I feel like a phony. Everybody goes, oh boy, this Stan Lee, he did those movies. And all I did was a little cameo. Oh, but wait, I'll tell you a secret. I'm going to tell you why the cameos are more important than you may think, and why they have helped Marvel make all that money. But keep it among you. Keep it to yourselves. If this gets out, it may change everything. The cameos, as you know, are very brief. Some of them are only 5 seconds long, or less than that. Now picture this. A guy and his date are at the movie, and they're watching Spider-Man or X-Men or the Avengers or whatever, and the movie ends, and they say, I didn't see your cameo. I must have been bending down for some popcorn and I missed it. Well, what do they do if they didn't see my cameo? They run back to the box office, they buy another ticket, because obviously nobody wants to miss my cameo. So I figure that half of the money that they make on those movies is because of my cameos. That's why they keep them so short and not so dumb.
That's great insight.
But that's a secret.
Your secret's safe with us. Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Alfred. I'm from Chicago. You've been in many cameos in Marvel, and I love Marvel and DC. I was wondering, would you ever be up for making a cameo in a DC movie?
Well, I'm such a ham, I'd probably make a cameo anyway. In fact, the fellow who did Clerks and who did Mallrats,
Kevin Smith.
I have a bigger role in his next movie, don't miss that one. But as far as DC is concerned, you know, a few years ago, quite a few years ago, I did a series of books for DC, believe it or not, and they're called What If Stan Lee Had Created? And one of them was Superman, one was Batman, Wonder Woman, on and on. And I wrote it the way I might have created created the characters, and they actually published them, about 12 books. So I think now I've heard rumors that they may be starting a new thing in comics where they're going to take those things that I did and they'll make a series of them. I don't know that it's definite, but a number of people have told me they're considering it. So the next thing you know, maybe I'll do a cameo in the next Superman movie. But you know what I'll do? I'll do it badly. No, it's impossible for me to do anything bad.
Thank you. It is impossible for you to do anything badly. I agree with you on that. Yes.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. I'm from Chicago. The X-Men movies, well, the X-Men comic books, but the movies, like to the point, were so great. The cast was amazing. And right now I'm studying casting at Columbia College, and I was wondering, out of like everyone who's ever been cast in one of the Marvel movies, which one do you think was the best, like the best person for that role?
Best casting of actors in any of the Marvel characters.
Well, I would have to say that Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is the greatest example of casting. But they're all good. The guy who plays Thor, it's funny.
Chris Hemsworth.
I was with him the other night. I didn't know it was him. He's wearing a suit. His hair is like a crew cut. And he looked like just a normal, nice-looking guy. But when he puts on that long hair, they make him look so strong. What was the question?
Best.
Oh, yeah. I think that, really, when I think about it, they're all cast wonderfully. Probably the best one is one you've never thought of. In the Fantastic Four, the guy who played the Thing, nobody could have done it like he did it. But they're all good. I love them all.
Thank you. Great question. Thanks.
It'll probably bore the hell out of you because it's a true story and I'm better at fiction, but maybe it'll be all right. I had already done a couple of superheroes for Marvel, I forget which, I think the Fantastic Four, maybe the Hulk, I don't remember. And my publisher said, I want you to come up with a new superhero. I think we're on a roll. So when you try to dream up a new superhero, the first thing you have to think of is what power will he have? And I couldn't think. I mean, the Thing was the strongest guy, the torch could burst into flame, the Hulk was this, that. What's left? And I saw a fly crawling on the wall. And I thought, oh man, if I could have a character who can crawl on walls like a fly, that was the first bit of it. And I had to then think of a name for this character. I didn't like Fly Man. I thought of Insect Man, Mosquito Man. Nothing sounded right. And then I thought of Spider-Man. It just sounded so dramatic, you know? So I said, hey, that's cool. I'll call him Spider-Man. No, I'm lying to you. Because in those days, I don't think we had the word cool. I probably said, that's groovy. But anyway, then I thought I'd make him a teenager so he'd be different. Then I thought I'd give him a lot of personal problems. Because I realized I never knew if Clark Kent had personal problems or if Batman had I felt we ought to have a hero who's like anybody else who has personal problems. So I went rushing into my publisher. I was so excited. And I said, I got just the character you want. I want to call him Spider-Man. He'll be a teenager, and he's got a lot of personal problems. The publisher looked at me and said, that is the stupidest idea I have ever heard. He said, first of all, people hate spiders, so you can't call a hero Spider-Man. You can't make him a teenager, because teenagers can only be sidekicks. And you want him to have personal problems. He said, Stan, don't you know what a superhero is? They don't have personal problems. So you can imagine how cheerful I felt when I left the office. But we had a magazine we were about to kill. It was called Amazing Fantasy. I loved it, but it wasn't selling that well, and we were going to drop it. Now, when you kill a magazine, nobody cares what you put in the last issue, because it's the last issue. Just to get it out of my system, I put Spider-Man in that last issue and featured him on the cover. About a month later, after the sales figures came in, my publisher called me into the office and he said, "Hey, Stan, do you remember that character of yours, Spider-Man, that we both liked so much?" He said, "Why don't you do a series?" And that's how Spider-Man was born.